Prayer 1. That the Senate do suspend Senator Natasha Akpabio for 6 months for a total violation of the Senate Standing Rules 2023 as amended for bringing the presiding officer and the entire Nigerian Senate in general to a public opprobrium. Those in support of prayer 1 say aye.
Aye.
Those against say nay. I'd put the question. Those in support of prayer 1 say aye. Aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it.
The Senate has finally suspended Senator Natasha Akpabio for 6 months without hearing her sexual harassment petition against Senate President Godswill Akpabio. They threw away the petition the same day she submitted it. They are not even hiding their bias against her. At least they would have made it performative by allowing the petition to sail through. Then, maybe after a few days, they will now come up with anything they want to come up with. They are in a hurry to dispose the petition to shut her up. They don't want to hear it anymore. That was why the Senate President told the Ethics Committee chairman yesterday to quickly do it as fast as practicable. Despite all they've done, they cannot wish the sexual harassment allegation away. And there is one misconception in the speech by the Senate President, saying that Natasha Akpabio has brought the Senate to disrepute in the eyes of the public. No, her accusation was against the Senate President Godswill Akpabio, not the Senate. The Senate President doesn't mean Senate. No, you are one person just like all the other 108 senators. When you are accused of something, you come out and face that accusation. You cannot start claiming, hey, the fact that someone accuses me of something, the person is accusing the Senate. No, you are just one person. The honorable thing to do is to step down and allow your deputy to take over proceedings. Godswill Akpabio was well aware that Natasha Akpabio wanted to present a petition against him. That was yesterday, and instead of stepping down for that day to allow his deputy to receive that petition on behalf of the Senate, he sat there on the seat and received a petition against himself. That action alone shows that Natasha Akpabio can never get justice. You are accusing someone of something as heavy as sexual harassment, and you are presenting the same petition against the person to himself. Also, looking at the disposition of the senators, especially PDP senators, Natasha Akpabio is from PDP. None of them said anything. They had no opinion whatsoever about the sexual harassment. Even PDP as a party never released any statement at all supporting or not supporting her. That says a lot. All the senators are in protection mode. Why is that? Has the Senate become a cult? Someone was accused of something. You guys don't want to look at that accusation. You're just waving it away. That she shouldn't have made that accusation in the first place. Whatever she suffered, trauma, whatever, that she should just endure it. That she shouldn't even have gone to the public. How is this happening in Nigeria?
The Senate Committee on Ethics, Privileges and Public Petition, having due deliberation of the matter as revealed by Senator Adeyemi Raphael Adaramodu, Senator Titus Tatenja Zam, Chamber staff and the Sergeant at Arms, the committee recommends as follows. 1. That the Senate do suspend Senator Natasha Akpabio for 6 months.
Also, the chairman of the Ethics Committee is from Labour Party. You already know his bias against Natasha, saying that the Senate President can never or cannot sexually harass anyone. So he even passed a judgment before receiving the petition, or right around the time he received the petition. Remember the two occasions Senator Natasha Akpabio said that Senate President Godswill Akpabio sexually harassed her. One was in Uyo, in his mansion, when they were touring his mansion with her husband behind. Obviously, this chairman of the Ethics Committee wasn't there with them. According to Natasha, she was there with her husband. Her husband was following them at the back while he was making the sexual advances. The second time was in the Senate, in Akpabio's office. The time he told her to make him happy, that once she makes him happy, she will get everything she wants in the Senate. And obviously, this ethics committee chairman wasn't there in the office when Akpabio made the sexual advances to Natasha. He passed a judgment without putting the Senate president on the stand. The normal way to conduct an investigation is to invite all parties. If they accepted the petition and Godswill Akpabio had stepped down and allowed his deputy to take over proceedings, what the ethics committee would have done was to invite the two of them. They will hear from Senate President, did you do this, did you do that? Did you ever sexually harass Senator Natasha Akpabio? They will take all his statements and they will invite Natasha to come and explain and elaborate her allegations. After collecting all the information, they will now reach a decision, which they will present to the entire Senate. The Senate will now take a decision, they will vote on it to know whether they will adopt their decision, whatever they will do. And of course, in doing that, the Senate President Akpabio shouldn't be the one leading the proceedings. That's how it's supposed to work. But they have suppressed and thrown away the petition. She even tried presenting another one, this time signed by her constituents, not her again, because they used all sorts of technicalities. It didn't follow due process, it didn't do this, didn't do that. They even cited court orders, that the court doesn't have any right to tell them how to conduct proceedings, that they are a different arm of government, blah, blah, blah. Now they have succeeded in shutting her up. Now, seeing that she has been suspended from the Senate for 6 months, mind you, suspension means no salary, no emolument, nothing, no entitlement. You won't receive anything from the Nigerian Senate or National Assembly for the period of 6 months. Maybe this is why some senators don't speak up. They are afraid. They are more interested in their entitlements, in these salaries. That's why they never fight the system. That's why it's laughable when they talk about patriotism. What does patriotism mean? Most of them are only patriotic to their stomachs, what they can gain from the system. They never consider the overall general interest. That's why many of them sat there and this lady was humiliated, bullied, and now suspended. Anyway, it's clear that they denied the lady justice. They didn't bother to hear Akpabio's side of the story. She made her accusation on national television. Let's assume everyone has heard her. But the Senate didn't hear from Akpabio. He didn't answer to specific accusations made by Natasha. Did he make sexual advances to her in Akpabio, in his mansion? Did he also make sexual advances to her in his office? All these specific accusations were never responded to by Akpabio himself. The Senate didn't also demand that he responds to that. They just threw everything away. They only focused on the rules she broke. They have punished her for that by suspending her for 6 months. How about the sexual harassment allegations? Now, the only option left for Senator Natasha Akpabio is to go public. After all, she claimed through her lawyer, when the lawyer wrote the Senate President's wife, that she has concrete evidence against Akpabio that she can use to nail him. So she needs to go public with that concrete evidence so that Nigerians will see that truly he is a sexual predator that abused his office, used his office to block progress. All that she wanted to do for her constituency, Akpabio stood and made sure it never happened. And now that she has been suspended, she will not have that opportunity until after 6 months. It's not even guaranteed that she will have that opportunity after she resumes, because the same Akpabio is still there as the Senate President. She will never be able to perform her duties as a senator. You see, no matter the political divide you belong to in Nigeria, there's one thing that is undeniable in the entire saga. Akpabio has done everything to make sure that he never answers to the allegations. He has made sure that this allegation never sees the light. Is that the behavior of someone that is not guilty? An innocent person will be in a hurry to prove himself to the world that he is innocent, that he didn't do anything he's been accused of. But that's not what Akpabio has been doing. He has hired many protesters to protest for him and against Natasha Akpabio, as witnessed by many protesters in Abuja who weren't aware of what was happening in the Senate, but they were just hired to come and protest for Akpabio. So going by circumstantial evidence, Akpabio is guilty. He should have used his position to prove that he didn't do anything he was being accused of by Senator Natasha Akpabio. But the reverse is the case. He used his position to suppress the evidence, to shut up the woman, to make sure that her petition never sees the light of the day. This is the Nigeria we have to deal with. You can't blame many people who have refused to fight the system. When they look at how everywhere has been captured, they see it as an enormous task that no one single man can bear. But this lady has been very courageous. She has been a fighter, standing alone. No one in the Senate, even women, dared to back her, despite knowing that she might be saying the truth. They are all interested in backing the system, the status quo, to make sure they don't lose any privileges or their emoluments, anything. They are just following the money for their personal benefits. Thanks for watching.
This injustice will not be sustained. The pursuit for justice